See, they can't even see the strategy right in front of them because they're hypnotized by their story. Our stories can literally shut us down. I'll give you a simplistic example. When you're a kid, do you ever have an experience where maybe you're sitting at the dinner table, you're having dinner, and your mom or dad says, could you get me the salt? And you're enjoying your meal. And you don't know exactly where the salt is. You don't know the exact coordinates of the salt. So you say, as a child, I don't know where the salt is. But your mother, father's having none of that. Go, you know where it is. It's in the kitchen on the second shelf. Go get it. And your head go, I don't know. Go get it. In your head, I don't know what the salt is. I don't know what the salt is. I don't know what the salt is. You keep saying this with certainty. I don't know what the salt is. You open the cupboard. You look up and down. It's not here. And your parents say, it's on the second shelf. In your head, you go, I don't know what the salt is. And you look around. I don't know what the salt is. It's not here. And they walk right next to you. They reach right in front of your face. And they go, what is this? Who's ever had an experience like this knows what I'm talking about. Say aye. Say aye. So here's a question. Was the salt, did your eyes see the salt? Yes. But your mind would not allow you to perceive the salt because you've been telling yourself a story over and over again. I don't know what the salt is. I don't know what the salt is. And so you create in psychology what we call as a blind spot. They call it a scotoma. It means you literally can't see what's in front of you because your belief that you keep telling yourself has gotten in the way. I can't tell you the number of beliefs people have, and I understand. With COVID, with political division, with racism, with all these things that are going around us. And you know what, guys? None of these things are really new. They've always been there. Some are new. The way we're responding to COVID is new, but there's always something. There's always going to be a winter time. There's going to be a spring where it's easier and grow. There's going to be a summer where you get tests. There's going to be a fall when you reap it all, and there's going to be another winter. That's life. And our ability to travel through those seasons and enjoy ourselves is how we create breakthroughs. And let me just say this. If you want to, the glue, if you feel stuck, the number one thing making you stick is a limiting belief, a story, or maybe a couple of them. I've tried everything. All the good ones are gone. Oh my gosh, you don't know what's happened to me. My mother died. My father just died. I mean, I read, again, till 6:30 this morning, so many of your notes because I wanted to feel it and I wanted to own it. And I wanted to be able to have compassion and connection where you could feel this is not just somebody talking at you. I hear you. And I've been in those places. If I told you the stories of my life, I wouldn't bore you, but it would take your breath away. Scary shit, horrible shit, painful shit. But instead of hanging on to that, I changed my story. My mom, I love my mom dearly. She passed away almost a decade ago. I never spoke anything negative about her. But one day I was in New York City and I was with a group of...
He had 2 kids, a loving wife. He was a man of God, contributed to the community. He gave us everything that he had. And he would bike to school every single day. I always remember him coming to school on his bike. And one morning on his way to school, it was early in the morning, he was crossing an intersection. A reckless driver comes out of nowhere, hits him. He dies on the spot, on the moment of impact. His death taught me so many valuable things in life. And one of them being that it went on to show that no matter how much you don't deserve to die, and no matter how good of a person you are, and no matter what your situation is, no matter anything, it goes to show that death is inevitable and random, and it will eventually consume each and every single one of us, whether it's in 50 years, in 10 years, next year, or even tomorrow.
You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
What are you going to do with your time? Enough's enough, man. I'm sick and tired of it. Stop compromising who you are for everybody else. I am no longer shy, broken, weak, because you gave me belief. You can achieve anything you want, because now you believe it. I am no longer a sheep living in disbelief. Disbelief that I am not great, that I am not strong, that I am not worthy of this greatness.
I just want you to listen to me. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than anything you can ever begin to imagine. You have million-dollar ideas, billion-dollar ideas in you. There are people waiting to hear your voice. You have a vision of yourself doing more, achieving more, taking care of your family, making your mark, leaving a legacy. You were born to be successful.
Ambition requires courage. Ambition requires that you stand up for what's right and fight what's wrong. Ambition requires that you hold on to your values in pursuit of your success. Ambition requires that you fight off fear. Fear is one of those things, one of those emotions that can stop people dead in their tracks, foregoing success and achievement. Fear can stop people from taking all that life has to offer them. Fear can rear its ugly head in many ways. Remember the old saying, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. You can be afraid of success, you can be afraid of failure, you can be afraid of looking ridiculous, you can be afraid of change, either positive or negative change.
I got a saying that when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it. See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future, yes to your potential, as opposed to saying no.
When you die, die on E. Leave no dream left behind, guys. Leave no opportunity left behind. When you leave this earth, accomplish every single thing you can accomplish. Listen to me, you're going to be here one day, but you'll never get here if you give up, if you give in, if you quit. And finally, guys, you got to want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. Everybody talks positive about themselves. Everybody talks like you a beast. You dress like you a beast. But then when it's time to do what beasts do, you back up. You have an excuse. Innovation is rewarded. They give you a plaque for it. They give you a reward for it. But execution is worship.
But it starts with that dream. It starts with your willingness to cultivate that, to think about it, to allow yourself to do that, because so many people stop themselves. They think they're inadequate. They think that they could never do it.
Influence is energy. It's the transfer of energy. It's getting you to feel about my company, feel about my mission, feel about my product, feel about my cause, what I feel. They're conscious of transferring energy to people because that's what moves people. That's what gets them to act. It's not just the words. It's not just your face. It's not just how you're dressed. It's an energy transfer. There's a hook, by the way. You can't transfer to me that which you're not experiencing yourself. You have to physically be experiencing it in the moment. It can't just be the words you're reading from a sheet. You have to really believe it. One of the reasons a lot of salespeople struggle or recruiters struggle is they just don't believe enough. They don't spend enough time making the case like a lawyer, litigating to themselves about how powerful what they do is. And the more and more you really believe, you're a true believer, you can evangelize your product. You can evangelize your message. So invest more time in your own belief, in your research, in your knowledge, finding third-party articles, magazines, blogs, things that reinforce whatever it is you're doing that feeds your own belief. That way you can give it to me. You can't give it to me if you don't have it.